Ceramic Industries is a business at the forefront of innovation, automation and technology in the ceramic tile and bathroom industry. It manufactures 1 out of every 2 tiles, baths and toilets purchased in South Africa. The company operates in an extremely complex and competitive environment. The group comprises 7 factories, shipping in excess of 2,900 tons per day across South Africa using external transport providers. Ceramic Industries partnered with Enhanced Supply Chain to deliver a truly integrated supply chain solution. The solution provides business-wide visibility of its operations through its overarching control tower and intelligently manages orders from point of placement through to delivery at customer. Using a complex and powerful solver, the solution can dynamically build, plan and allocate least cost transport routes against SLAs and manage the order through to delivery. The real-time yard management solution continues to manage the order from transport to arrival through to dispatch, ensuring constant visibility of an order against plan. This is their story.
Okay, just to give you an overview of Ceramic Industries, we've got 7 factories which is based all in Gauteng. We deliver to about 11 countries. We've been in operations for about 55 years. We deliver to just over 1,000 customer locations within South Africa and neighboring countries. We've got just over 1,100 employees currently at Ceramic Industries. SKUs we carry is just under 1,000 SKUs. We produce on a daily basis 4,500 sanitary pieces and just over 135,000 square meters of tiles on a daily basis. And our turnover is roughly about 4 billion. So we've got our manufacturing operations, our distributing operations, and our retail operations. Ceramic Industries forms part of our manufacturing operations. Our distribution operation is different DCs we've got, which we distribute to our stores. And then obviously our retail operations consist of our Ital Tile stores, our CTM stores, and our Top T stores. Those are all part of the group, but obviously we deliver to a lot of our other outside customers, which doesn't form part of the group. All right, so why did we do the project? Obviously, we investigated and started to understand that we need to improve in the market, and so we went to and we tried to understand where's our problem. And some of the problems we came up to, and some of the stuff we needed to focus on, is that the changing marketplace, the escalating cost in serving the market, and obviously our yard congestion. Talking about the changing marketplace, obviously, there's a lot of smaller towns and the stores opening up. One of our biggest customers is Cashbuild. There's open stores in all the smaller towns, and we have to deliver to that stores on a daily basis, weekly basis, or twice on a weekly, depending on the market demand for those areas, which obviously makes it more expensive to deliver to those areas because you have to, the trucks have to travel further. They have to deliver smaller quantities to certain customers. Also, one of the problems we have is obviously with smaller customers being signed up is that some of them take sanitary, some of them take tiles, and some of them takes a combination of them. One of the problems we had, some of the customers, is that they only take sandware. And a sandware order could be anything from 15 kilograms to 3,000 kilograms, where when they order tiles, the minimum order is roughly 1,500 kilograms. So the problem became with smaller customers taking smaller orders, which might only be 15 or 100 kilograms, is that those customers would get lost. But what we did with the system now is the system actually looks at the delivery date, prioritizes that, and it makes a decision of must it go, can it go, or should it go. And that obviously improved our customer service a lot by, it's not people making a decision of should stock go out, but it's mostly done on a system basis. We configured the system with parameters put inside to understand what is our customer service requirements, and now the system makes the decisions on what needs to go on the truck and when. And that also forms part of the escalating cost to serve the market. And then yard congestion, obviously we load in the region of about 65 superlinks on a daily basis. That's only trucks going out. That doesn't include the trucks bringing in raw materials like clay, pallets, packaging, and all of that. So obviously trying to get the yard sorted out and more of a free flow in the market, and getting the trucks loaded and in and out, not to waste the transporter's time. And that's where we brought in the yard solution, which has improved dramatically the standing time on trucks.
The problem that we were trying to solve at Ceramics was quite unique in the sense that Ceramic Industries network is extremely vast. and it was becoming increasingly splintered due to the sort of growing markets and the growing customer base. At a high level, they were facing three macro problems. The market was under threat and it was changing. The organization had to travel further to deliver more in smaller drop sizes. There was naturally an increase in the general cost to serve within the market. Transporters were demanding higher rates. Operations were facing increasing costs, and it was critical that through our solution that we were able to, mitigate the risks of this changing market and mitigate the increasing costs through innovation and optimization. Compounded by this was operational issues that they found themselves facing within the yard due to poor load utilization, congestion, and long waiting times. And this, coupled with a sort of silo mentality on how to attack and approach each of these problems, led to a sort of decoupled solution in terms of the logistics and supply chain optimization approach. So what we were tasked to do was come in and offer an integrated supply chain solution which would take into account the growing customer market, the changing economic conditions, and the escalating cost to serve. And it was critical that by addressing these issues, we were able to maintain the customer service level at all times, or improve it at least, and show a significant reduction in the total cost to serve. The main project objectives were to ensure a sustainable solution that could continue to grow with the business into the future, that could contribute to the revenue and the network growth, that could ensure customer service level was improved, and very importantly, could result in a reduction in the cost to serve and essentially add to the bottom line numbers within the business. Some ancillary objectives were to reduce the overall yard congestion and improve the loading time, assist with the master data accuracy and cleanup, and ensure that the impact on staff and transporters was minimal, and that the overall flow of the order from receipt through to payment was improved, and that any unnecessary working capital was reduced through that process as well.
All right, solution overview. If you go back in time, before we started this project, we still have coordinators in each factory, which would come in the morning. They will do the allocation from the previous day's production. That would go onto our SAP system, which we would call the open shipments. From open shipments, we would then, let's say, make a decision to start running, to do shipments at anything between 10 and 12 o'clock during the day. Certain people would do certain areas. We would make up the shipments. The shipment would go out to the factories. The factories would start picking. The information would go out to the transporters. The transporters would start sending in the trucks. So they'd come and load whenever they have trucks ready. And that's how we handled that in the previous days. After implementing and going through this whole process, the new system is now a lot more modernized. Auto allocations happens automatically on the SAP system every morning. This information is automatically sent over to our TMS solution. We will then make a decision to start running the system at 10 o'clock, which will mean the system will run. It will do all the shipments for the day for all the areas. It will run through all our. We always start with our local areas first, and then we do our long distance areas. The system will run, make up the shipments. All those shipments will then be automatically sent out to our customers, our factories, and our transporter, which means the factory receives a shipment plan that says what he needs to pick and when he needs to pick and when's the loading date and the delivery date. The customer gets the same shipment notification advising him on what he will be receiving on which day, and then that same shipment plan goes out to each transporter advising him what he's loading from which factory, on what date he needs to load, and on what date he needs to deliver. All right, all of this information also goes to our yard solution, which means as soon as the truck arrives, the scanner, the truck driver will present his driver's license and his shipment number. We will then check that according to the information we've got on the system. If that is true and correct, the truck will be scanned in. We then also add a beacon to the truck so that we can track the truck as it travels through our facilities. If I can take our Vereniging facility as an example, we've got 5 different loading areas within the facility, and all of these areas are broken down into different geofences. And as the truck passes through these geofences with a tachometer on it, we can establish the amount of time he was spent in each of those areas, giving feedback on a daily basis to the factories regarding their loading times. We've also added to that, if a truck is standing at a certain geofence for more than a certain time, an SMS will go to the factory manager advising him of the problem, and that he obviously needs to look into this, and so for us to understand why is the truck standing in certain geofences for too long. There's 5 loading facilities within the factory, and we actually changed the whole of the route just to make it more suitable for the trucks, give more space, and just to ensure we can get the trucks loaded and moving through the facility in a better way. Adding on to the yard solution, I think one of the most positive, 2 positive points we can mention on the yard solution is, in previous times, trucks would enter the facility, they would exit the facility maybe 6 hours later, and then we could never say where the trucks were standing. Currently now, with the geofences we've put across all the factories, we can give feedback to the factories on a daily basis, and we can actually confirm the time when the truck entered the geofence and when he left the geofence, which it just makes it easier to control and to give feedback to the people. Also, one of the problems we had in previous years was that obviously standing time at loading facilities has always been a problem, and it's mostly a problem for the transporters, obviously due to the fact that they lose time, and when they lose time, they actually lose turnover due to the fact that the trucks are not moving around. By improving our loading times and standing times, gave us the ability to negotiate better rates with our transporters, and then also ensuring that given certain SOPs, that we would get the trucks in and out the facilities at within a certain time period, and obviously that helped us negotiating better rates with them.
In order to solve this complex solution and to meet the given business objectives, we decided to implement our fully integrated supply chain control tower solution with various components ranging from logistics dashboards, TMS solutions, purpose-built transport optimization solvers, yard management systems, and order management tools. To take you through a little bit about the journey of an order through our solution, orders will be received automatically via SAP integration, and will go through an order cleansing process where we will ensure that the master data received is clean before pushing that information through to our TMS environment. From that point on, we have an automatic stock allocation and automatic bin assignment, which is completed, which ensures that every order we receive has stock allocated to it and a customer destination. From then onwards, we have a dynamic solver, which would route the various orders in 3 sort of wave cycles throughout the day. And by doing it in this manner, we were able to reduce the overheads required to actually man the solution from 3 individuals down to 1 person running over 1,200 orders a day. The solution works on very specific configurations and parameters, where it ensures that all orders received are only sent out if the maximum vehicle utilization is achieved and the lowest cost distribution alternative is selected. From then onwards, that order will then be automatically sent back through to SAP, whereby the entire automated picking process would commence, and the automatic guided vehicles would start to collect the stock from the warehouse floor and pull that stock out through to the dispatch and staging areas, ready for loading via the vehicles. At the same time, that picking and transport information is sent directly through to all the customers, through to the various operations, to ensure that they know what orders are coming off the line, what is being picked and what would be loaded, as well as notifications automatically sent through to the transporters to ensure that they know what orders that they need to collect from which sites on which particular days. That information is automatically provided through to our yard management solution, which ensures that any vehicle that is come to pick up that load from the site is the correct vehicle that is arriving, and the vehicle would not be allowed entry into that site unless that stock is picked and ready for loading onto the vehicle. Yard management solution would also ensure the prioritization of the vehicles throughout the yard and ensure that at all times we have consistent flow and no bottlenecks forming within the yard, and ensuring that the transporters are turned around as quick as possible and that load arrives on time and in full through to the end customer. Added to the TMS solution is our auto invoicing module, which essentially balances all completed delivery schedules with SAP and ensures a marriage between the transporter's remittance and the SAP remittance. So come the end of the month, it's a quick and easy recon to ensure that transporters are paid on time and in full, and that there are no misalignments in terms of any invoicing or rates. When trying to tackle the optimization problem within ceramic industries, we had to think completely differently to how route optimization and route planning normally works. We didn't believe that a out-the-box or standard route planning software would solve the ceramic problem. So we decided to come up with a purpose-built solver which took into account the very specific elements that were hampering ceramic industries, and decided how we could create a real-time, fast and effective solver that could take the problem and within a matter of minutes provide a solution which is lowest cost, high utilization and high customer service levels. So in doing that, we had to take into account various trade-off decisions between service level and cost, looking at the loading to delivery turnaround times at the facilities as well as the customer premises. We had to look at the various transporter agreements that were in place and the various cost considerations and penalties that were a part of the old sort of ceramic industry's rate structure. We had to quite carefully decide how to zone particular areas, how to look at can-go, must-go mentality, how we could consolidate certain customers by lowest rate region and applicable fleet sizes in terms of that distribution element, whilst always at all times taking into account the product mix that we were going to be given on that particular day. Because when you're dealing with tiles, you're dealing with sandware, and you're dealing with bathroom fittings, the ability to maximize utilization on that load comes down to the sort of finite measurements of what you can fit in that truck, and achieving almost a 98% utilization on Superlinks. We're extremely proud of, and I think it's been a great contributor to the success of the ceramic industry's TMS solution. So when we talk integrated network planning, what we mean by that is essentially moving away from this sort of push mentality where you're pushing an order through the system and through to market, to more of a pull methodology where the customer demand and the requirements is essentially the driving factor pulling the orders through the system. And at all times having a holistic view of what is required in each of those functional areas within the network, so that you're not planning in silos, in terms of the order management, the route planning, the production planning, the dispatching, and the customer receiving. So our integrated solution is completely interconnected with the ceramic industry's SAP ERP and production planning systems. So the moment we receive an order and we've load billed and we've route optimized and we've planned it, the moment that we are happy with that order and we confirm that order, so a myriad of different signals are then sent out to various departments within the business. So the transport order will go through to production to let them understand that the order is ready and the load needs to be picked, and the automatic signals will then guide the automatic guided vehicles through to the necessary bins. The picking process would happen automatically. The loading teams and the warehouse understand what orders are going to be loaded on which particular days, and they can start planning their various elements. The yard solution receives the orders as well to understand which vehicles will be picking up which loads on which particular days. The transporters will receive a notification of the load and the job that they need to do and that they need to collect, as well as the customers receiving a notification of their order, which would be distributed through to them. And that process all happens within minutes of one another and is fully integrated. And at no time is there any manual intervention that's required to sort of push that order through the process. Right until the vehicle arrives at the yard and is led into the yard to the point that he is dispatched and en route, there's live monitoring of that vehicle at all times to ensure that the customer receives their delivery on time and in full.
Okay, look at our project performance. We had it, and what I think you need to take into consideration is when we started the project and by the time we went live, we had a 25% increase in our delivery points, which obviously made it a hell of a lot difficult to get the stuff out at the reduced cost due to the fact that we had more delivery points and a lot more smaller customers added to the system. Just to mention, with all of this, we still managed to reduce our transport costs in the region by 10%. We increased our vehicle utilization from roughly about 94% to 97.3%. Currently, we're aiming at 98%, and we are very close to achieving that. And obviously, we also reduced our penalty cost by about 8%. To give you just an explanation regarding that, due to the fact that we've got multiple collection and delivery points, most of our transport negotiations goes by where we agree on a price which will include 2 pickup points and 2 delivery points. Then if there's a third collection point, that price could vary from anything between 750 Rand and 1,200 Rand, and then also our delivery points. If there's more than 2, we pay a penalty cost of anything between 750 and 1,500 Rand for the penalty or the drop cost, and that's where we put the penalty cost. But we're able, even by increasing our customer base, we were still able to reduce that by 8%.
The results from the ceramic industry's integrated supply chain solution are results that we are extremely proud of, and are results that enabled us to win a Platinum Award at the Logistics Achievers Award in 2019. Saving ceramic industries over 10% on their cost to serve was a massive chunk of cost that we took out of their network that went straight down to their bottom line. Increasing the vehicle weight utilization from 94% to 97.3% and currently averaging on just short of 98% is something that we've been able to do sustainably throughout the 4 years, and is something that we can consistently improve on as we add more complexity to the actual overall TMS network. The TMS solution has been a great enabler in allowing the business to grow as it has over the last few years. The business has seen in the F20 year an 18% increase in turnover, whilst increasing their delivery points by over 25%. The TMS solution also enabled the business to partner with BE transporters and grow their transporter pool by over 30%, increasing transporter satisfaction, security, as well as ensuring sustainability for the transporters into the future, as it related to transporter loading and delivery of the ceramic products. It also enabled the business to upskill and empower their staff with new and innovative solutions, and providing the team with visibility of the overall operations. The carbon emissions were greatly reduced to the subsequent reduction in waiting time at the various sites and the reduction in kilometres, as well as the reduction in the manual processes and paper that was associated with the old order to delivery process. The results that we have been achieved are results that we continue to work on with ceramic industries and continue to improve on year, and are results that we benchmark ourselves on as it relates to any other of our customer projects.
Just in closing, I think being part of this of the Logistics Achievers Award has been a great journey. I think it emphasizes that we at Ceramic Industries tries our best to ensure that we can deliver our products to our customers at the lowest cost, that we focus on customer service, and that we try and innovate and stay ahead of the game at all times. And it's been a great journey.
Being recognized at the Logistics Achievers Award and being honored with a Platinum and Gold Award for our services within the supply chain industry is something that we are extremely proud of, and something that we would like to be a part of into the future. It means not just a lot to us as a business or as a brand, but it means a lot to our employees and our staff to know that they are working for a company that is on the edge of innovation and supply chain automation, and it excites them to know that they are part of a winning team and a team that is committed to making a difference within the supply chain industry.